Silently, those gates appeared, on a street corner, on the beaches, as well as in dark places where no one dared to go. Although they looked like gates, they never opened, could not be broken, could not be moved. Their true nature only became clear several years later. After so much time, the gates were opened. From them, countless monsters emerged and attacked the people around. The skies and the earth were painted crimson amid screams and shouts. That was when the trumpets sounded and they descended from the skies. Cold and distant, they looked at humans with disdain. Those winged beings pursued only humans with their wings. Fleeing from these beings, a little girl worried about her older brother. He protected her from the fire despite his wounds. It's okay, Ayumi, I'm here." That was when the boy heard some footsteps. Before he realized it, a monster had appeared behind him. Thinking of protecting his sister Ayumi, the young man lost his strength. Ayumi was surprised and worried about her brother. "Big brother, wait, don't go. Please, I will be good from now on, so please." While Ayumi pleaded to the heavens, a golden glow appeared, enveloping her as well as her brother. The glow became strong enough to blind the monster that was trying to attack them. Transforming into energy, the light overflowed from the two, consuming everything around, including the monster. Ayumi cried desperately, strengthening that power even more. "Don't take my brother." The golden light exploded, consuming everything in a wide area, blinding everything around. Weakly, Ayumi's brother could see that light until his eyes closed. Since the opening of those gates, no explanation was given. Dark monsters appeared and devastated cities. Beings that seemed like deities did the same. Only one thing was said to humans by the leader of the winged. Among the 7 envoys, "I am the first." Sometime later, Ayumi's brother woke up in a hospital bed. When he got up, he realized he felt no pain at all. Moreover, his wounds had disappeared. The first doctor who came to check on him revealed why. "Thanks to the awakening, your life was saved." She also explained what had happened while he was unconscious. The awakenings began when the gates opened. 24% of the population suddenly received abilities. They became awakened. At a great cost, humanity survived the first calamity. Upon learning that her brother had woken up, Ayumi ran through the hospital. According to the doctor, the one who had saved his life was Ayumi herself. With a rare talent in healing and purification, she awakened with a light attribute. Holding her brother, Ayumi cried with happiness. "I'm so glad you're alive." On the city streets, many people walked looking down at the cell phones in their hands. On one of them, a streamer could be seen. An enthusiastic girl greeted her audience. "Right here next to me is Ayumi." Akagi Ayumi, a 16-year-old hunter, was in front of a gate for another raid. It had been 10 years since the catastrophe, and the world had changed completely. After the disaster, dungeons began to appear everywhere. These dungeons became known as gates. To prepare for the second arrival of the envoys, hunters began exploring and clearing the portals, which increased in number every day. Thus, hunters gained prominence. In the face of an era of despair and injustice, humanity did not hide. The hunters went to battle and exterminated every gate they attacked. Quickly, raids became a popular phenomenon. Now many awakened people dived into the portals with cameras on. Ayumi was one of those streamers. "What will today's raid be? It will be a new challenge. My senior hunter, Manasi Reika, told me I'm ready. It's time to solo a rank B gate." Although Reika was not very popular, Ayumi's stream viewers supported her because they knew she would do her best to meet everyone's expectations. While managing the chat, Ayumi got annoyed. "Guys, you know the rules. Don't comment things that might hurt, or I'll block you without hesitation." Returning to the main topic, the lively Ayumi was ready to go. Let's go. With her rare light attribute, captivating appearance, and sincere and cheerful personality, Ayumi became a success. It had been a year since she started streaming, wanting to become independent. Now, her older brother watched Ayumi become a rising rookie and one of the most famous streamers. Akagi Enma, the older brother, helped her between his jobs as cameraman and chat moderator. Thinking of Minase Reika, Enma always felt grateful that his sister had a senior who supported her. However, looking at the chat, he didn't understand why so many people cursed her. In a dark room, someone watched Ayumi's stream. If someone could see who was sitting in front of the monitor, they would realize it was Minase Reika. The blue-haired girl with shoulder-length hair gritted her teeth, frustrated and sad that everyone was speaking badly of her. Ayumi entered the dungeon and confronted the monsters with her power. Intermediate light attribute technique. Lightning fall. Even in the closed cave, lightning struck the monster, which dissipated into light. In her first attempt to solo a rank B dungeon, Ayumi faced difficulties despite her effort, but everyone supported her to succeed. Ayumi walked to another fork in the cave, where several goblins and slimes appeared. This time she used an advanced light attribute technique, Stella's Harvest. A magical light symbol appeared before her, and a golden scythe was summoned. The people watching her stream worried because they knew light abilities quickly drained the user's mana. Enma, while watching his sister's fight, had already lost count of how many times he wished he had awakened too. However, his thoughts changed when he saw his sister's confident smile looking at him. "Don't worry, I won't lose." Swinging the golden scythe, Ayumi used the skill Angelic Wave, Waves of the Sky. As she floated with the energy of light, her scythe released numerous golden feathers that completely covered the hallway of the lair. Panting, Ayumi celebrated the victory with the chat, "We nailed it." Everyone was amazed and celebrated with her. Although it had been tight, Enma could see that the tips given by Reika had been worth it. Still, he couldn't understand why people were saying so many bad things about Reika. While Ayumi took a break, someone in the stream commented that it seemed there was someone else in the dungeon. Watching the broadcast, Reika smiled maliciously. "This is your punishment for making Reika-sama be despised." Ayumi was startled to realize there really were others in the dungeon. Enma didn't see them in time as they appeared behind him. When he turned around, it was already too late. He fell after the attack he suffered, dropping the phone. The men who had invaded the dungeon soon walked toward Ayumi. With malicious looks, they prepared themselves. A blonde man with long hair, who seemed to be the leader of the group, created a magic circle with an advanced blood attribute technique, strengthening his arm. They said to punish her for being arrogant, but I'll avoid her face. It won't be fun if such beauty is ruined. Ayumi gritted her teeth upon seeing the group's actions. "I don't know what you want, but clearly it's not to talk." The man who had strengthened his arm liked Ayumi's attitude. Even without mana, she still despised them. With the little energy left, Ayumi used a basic light attribute technique. However, the counterattack was brutal. Soon, she fell to the ground, being mocked by the two henchmen. As the blonde man and his masked subordinates approached to finish her off, Ayumi looked at her older brother, tears streaming down her face. Then, she no longer moved. Faced with this, the leader of the invaders ordered everything to be cleaned up. The two accomplices obeyed immediately, as they still had to take care of business. Wanting to be quick, they planned to throw the siblings to the monsters. As soon as they agreed on the plan, a giant worm appeared. For the bandits, it was the perfect moment. One of them put Ayumi's body on his shoulder, wanting to start with her. At that moment, flames ran along the dungeon walls. The bandits looked toward the source of the fire and were surprised. They didn't understand what was happening. Those flames, which surrounded Ayumi's older brother, had defeated the giant worm monster. The pair of henchmen were frightened. Wait, the brother was supposed to be useless, that's what they said. But what is this fire?" The flames surrounded the young man fallen on the ground, who weakly called his sister's name. Quickly, the bandits realized that fire was the sign of an awakening. The flames spread, beginning to consume the phone that was streaming, as well as everything else. Shortly before, upon seeing his sister fall, Enma tried to move. However, his body did not respond. He had sworn to protect Ayumi, and it was at that moment that flames arose in his mind, accompanied by a voice. "If you want power, be furious. Let this fury burn. Burn your entire being." With effort, Enma raised his face and managed to see the phone screen, only to witness his sister's desperate gaze and tears. That image made him even angrier, consumed by the flames of rage. The two masked men watched in disbelief as the worm was completely incinerated. They couldn't believe that Ayumi's brother, the one who was supposed to be useless, was causing that. Even without moving, the flames surrounding Enma darkened the dungeon with their red and golden hues. Trying to stay calm, the two remembered that the young man was severely injured. One of them then used an intermediate stone attribute skill, Rock Explosion. However, the flames intensified, destroying the rocks before they could hit the target. Surprised, the masked man realized his attack had failed. Enma, now standing, felt a tremendous heat. His whole body and mind were aflame, but his eyes burned with fury. Frightened, one of the bandits asked the other if they should call back their leader, Sakura, but the second refused, fearing the consequences. The one who hesitated quickly met his end, burned by the hands of the one who now controlled the flames. The survivor immediately tried to flee. Using an air enhancement, he accelerated his speed to escape. Meanwhile, Enma crawled on the ground, trying to reach Ayumi's body. Throughout their lives, they had only each other. Now, even if he handed the culprits over to the police, it wouldn't bring his sister back. He could still remember her smile, which, even amid the pain endured in the dungeons, always wanted to make others smile too. That was Ayumi's motto, and Enma knew it well. Facing the last desperate look still present in his sister's eyes, Enma closed them with his hand. That kind of look, you wouldn't want anyone else to see it. Goodbye, Ayumi. Then he ignited all the remaining flames, bidding farewell to his sister forever. After this farewell, Enma awakened in a dark world. Looking around, he saw a completely burned and destroyed landscape. Not knowing where he was, he wondered what had happened. Then he heard a voice. "Hey, you've arrived." Turning toward the voice, Enma saw a skeletal creature with wings of fallen feathers. Thinking he had gone to the underworld for having attacked someone, Enma asked that entity if at least his sister had gone to heaven. The creature laughed at the question. Don't be stupid. The end of humans is to become ashes, that's all. With white hair and horns, the being introduced itself. I am Vox, and this is the world I created. And you're still alive. Faced with so many revelations, Enma was confused. After a moment of thought, Vox continued. You've heard of those sent from the heavens, right? I am their enemy. That's basically what you need to know. Since I hate long explanations, I'll get straight to the point. I want you to make a contract with me. Enma became even more confused hearing about a sudden contract. Laughing, Vox created flames with his power. Didn't you just feel them? My flames? This is a power too great for any human. You can become an entity or even a deity with it, and I will give it to you. In exchange, before hearing what Vox wanted, Enma refused, telling him not to make decisions on his own. A look of sadness appeared on Enma's face. Even if I gain this power now, there's nothing I want to do with it. Vox couldn't contain his laughter, surprising Enma. Don't lie to me. If you really had no such desire, then what was that violent fire? He clearly remembered the flames Enma had summoned, the tears he shed, the fire of rage. Accept your fury and make it your power. It was your fury that awakened me. If you join me, that fury will be your strength. Surrounded by the flames of that power, Enma at least questioned Vox about the reason behind that contract. Extending his broken wings, Vox smiled maniacally. Because I want to devour your despair. Make a contract with me and offer me every drop of despair. That's what I survive on. There's someone you also want to sink into despair, isn't there? Be honest with yourself, Akagi Enma. Consumed by the flames, Enma howled. He wondered what he would gain by taking revenge on those who had done this. Was there any purpose in it? However, he forgot that sometimes no reason is necessary. The only thing he needed was his sister's smile, and having lost it, a void formed in its place. That void became the reason that led him to seal the contract with Vox. I'm tired of stalling. Teach me how to use this power, Vox. Vox became excited seeing Enma's empty gaze. In that world he himself had created, Enma would live forever. He wouldn't need to eat or sleep. There, monsters created by Vox would serve as targets. Now Enma could use his power freely until he fully mastered the flames. Enma, this power is yours now. Flames formed in Enma's hands and he advanced, consumed by hatred. With every strike, the flames spread violently in all directions. Consumed by hatred and despair, he continued to fight, pouring all the weight of his feelings into the flames. Facing one of the monsters, he stopped. In the creature's gaze, he saw the scoundrel who had attacked his sister. The hatred inflamed the following attack even more, burning the monster with overwhelming heat. Vox, watching as Enma destroyed his puppets, felt satisfied. After the end of the training, Vox sighed. I said you could use this place as much as you wanted, but who would have thought you'd keep setting everything on fire for a whole year? Looking at Enma, he mocked. A pyromaniac or an arsonist? That's the question. Human fury only lasts 6 seconds because it's a fleeting emotion. So, after 30 million seconds, how do you feel? At the top of a mountain, Enma extended his hand, touching the ashes still falling. His melancholic gaze revealed something even Vox did not expect. What burned inside him was no longer hatred. Facing that look, Vox understood. Silently, he released his flames as a rite of passage. Go ahead, contracted one. In a dungeon with the appearance of a dark cave, a mocking voice echoed. Oh, still trying hard? Why are you trying so much? A couple, who had already lost a companion, faced a group of attackers. With a malicious look, the hunter attacking them conjured magic that strengthened his fist. He counted down before finishing off the young man in front of him. Desperate, the girl tried to wake her friend. The man stepped on the one he had just eliminated, laughing. If we don't conquer the gate, is the world doomed? You're weak and too serious. It's hilarious. I still haven't learned anything since the Ayumi incident. A year ago. With the same cruel look, he turned to a rookie beside him. The young man hesitated. He remembered what he had done a year ago, and how because of that, he had been fired. At that moment, a broadcast started. A person appeared on the phone screen, showing their own face. Hello, right now I'm at a certain gate. With a cold and malicious gaze, Enma began his stream. As soon as Enma started the broadcast, even using a drone, that man and his companions surrounded him. Ugh, streamers are really a pain. Sometimes you end up in the wrong place at the wrong time and get caught on a live stream. Furious, the man with the heavy expression ordered Enma to turn off the camera, but Enma just smiled. Flames appeared, engulfing the man who, before the eyes of his companions, began to disappear. While creating and displaying the flames, Enma introduced himself. I'm new to streaming, so nice to meet you all. As the live audience wondered what was happening, those present at the scene, overwhelmed by the heat and fear of the flames, stepped back, including the young newcomer. Then Enma pointed to the man in flames and revealed,